Hi there again, welcome back, and I'm Stephen Conway, and we're going to be doing some tutorials on this channel. Uh, I paint with oils, and I'm going to be just giving the beginners out there just some little tutorials, some hints and tips on getting started on different painting techniques, um, what surfaces to use, just the basics with oil painting. Now I'm doing a painting here of Ballycotton Lighthouse. It's for a lady, and I thought I was kind of halfway through it, and I thought to myself, well, it'd be nice to do a little tutorial on painting the crests of water in the ocean. So the way it goes up and down and up and down. So I thought it'd be nice to just show you quickly how that can be done. There's lots of different ways of doing it, but this is just one way of doing it. It's an easy way I find, and I think it'll be pretty easy for you to follow this. So just give it a try. Now I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm in my kitchen as well, by the way, because there's nice light down here today, and it's very bright and airy in here. So I said I'd stay away from the bedroom this time because it's very dull up there. So I'm just going to hook the camera onto my stand here, and we'll do a little bit of painting anyway. And I'll just give you a quick kind of tutorial just on painting waves, and maybe get some water splashing up on the rocks and so on. So I'll turn the camera around and show you what we're doing here. And this is the painting now. This is Ballycotton Lighthouse, and I'm going to be showing you now how to do these little waves cresting over here. Now we have a big one just here. It comes around here and it's kind of cresting. And we'll do another one or two here as well. But you can see just Ballycotton Lighthouse there now, just off in the distance. It's only an impression. There's no detail in this really. I just did a very kind of a dull greyish kind of a blue colour in the sky because she wanted me to copy a photo that she gave me, and I'll show you now. I'll just lift the tablet over here, and this is just a general impression of what she wants. So that's where we're at now so far. Now I need to make this land just slightly rounder here, just more round. And we're going to be putting some rocks in here with some spray going up on the rocks and creating some crests in the water here as well. So I just thought it might be nice for you just to see that. It'll be a short video really, just to give you one technique on how it's done. Okay, so I'm just going to hook this on here to my stand, my fantastic stand, and I hope I get this right. So let's see now if we can get a decent picture on this for you to follow. And that's not too bad, I suppose. Okay, so here we are. Now, I hope that's looking okay on the camera there. I'm just going to make this slightly rounder here because it is slightly rounder on the photograph. So I'm just going to take a round brush, okay, a small round brush, and I'm just going to do a mix for that. Now, it's a very pale mix of cobalt blue, Naples yellow, and some cadmium red. So it's a kind of a pale bluey purpley sort of a colour. And let's just make that nice and round. Now we don't want it too round, obviously. There's a little bit kind of up and down just here and there as well. There we go. That's a bit better. No. Right, that's fine. I just wanted to show you more or less really about the water here and painting the water. So, I'm going to take some, this kind of a bluey green colour here. I'm going to take some phaylo blue and a little touch of burnt umber. So phaylo blue and burnt umber now make a lovely colour for this. Let's just test that out. That's not too bad. I think we'll just about get away with it. And I'm just going to blend this gently in to that colour above it. Now I'm going to be putting more onto this, so don't worry. I'm not going to be worrying too much about going over this section over it. Okay. Now let's put in a little touch more of phaylo blue into that. Now I want this watercolour here to be nice and dark. And why is that? Yep, you guessed it. So that the white will show up lovely on it then, when I'm painting the white water. So some phaylo blue again, some burnt umber, and let's try it down here. Oh, that's a little bit too dark now for me, I think. So this touch of white into that, and a touch of Naples yellow. Naples yellow will just make it slightly more green, which is the colour of the ocean. Believe it or not, it's not so much blue as it is a kind of a bluey green, I find. And phaylo blue is a lovely colour for that as well. There we go. So let's just fill all this in here now. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be all the same colour. You can add bits of black, you can add, or Payne's grey, whatever you have. You can add bits of Payne's grey, you can add some French ultramarine into this. So you can make it varied. Varied is the word I'm looking for. So nice and varied. And let's put a bit of that richer blue in. Let's get some nice dark tones in just down here. And this is just one way now of painting these crests on the water. There are lots of other techniques. I'm sure you will find others out there that you might prefer to use, but this is just the one that I use. I find it works, and there's not too much difficulty with this. So I just want to teach you this, just to show you how it can be done. And it doesn't have to be complicated, remember that. Now let's get some black, a little bit of black with some burnt umber and some phaylo blue. And I want this nice and dark down here. There we go. And I might let a little bit of cadmium red into that as well, because I don't want it to be too cold. I want to keep it nice and warm as well at the same time. And that's not too bad. So that's just the basis now for all our water to go on top. Okay? Now, this is the fun part. The water. I'm going to teach you now how to do the water, and do it quite easily as well at the same time. So I have a little crest here which I did yesterday, so I'm going to do a little bit more of that, just to bring it forward a little bit more, just to show you how it's done. So I'm taking my little flat brush. Now these synthetic brushes are great for this because they're nice and flat and they have a good edge on them. So I'm taking that and I'm going into some of my white. Now 1 second, I'm just going to clean my palette just where the white paint is, or the blue paint is, because it's all mixed in with the white here. And I don't want to be picking up blue as I'm dipping into my white. So just giving it a quick clean with the brush. And now, I have some white on my brush here, a little bit of blue, that's fine, it's alright. And I'm just going to wiggle it around, there and there. Now this is going to be the top of the wave here. This is the top of the wave, and this is the light side of the water coming down here. And I'm flicking it out gently, almost horizontally, okay? Now, if it gets dirty, just wipe your brush on the tissue and go back into that again. A bit of white. There we go. Now let's go back into it again. And it kind of cuts around here. And pull it back then. Straight back like that. And then it sort of disappears into the water. So let's just take our blender brush then. Once we have that done, if I can find it, be handy if I could find it, lads. Right, here we go. And I'm going to use the new one today. €1.50 in my local discount store. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Let's just pull that down there. Now, I'm going to go in now with some dark on this side. And that'll be the shadow side of it, won't it? So I'm just taking some of that darker colour and I put some brown into it. And let's just check this now. That's not bad. So that can be the shadow. And that's the shadow of the wave there, and you can see it already sort of coming to life. And let's put a little bit just here. There we go. And that's not too bad. So that's kind of the basic shape now of the wave, the crest of the wave. And here comes my daughter Ava, coming into the kitchen. And she's a little embarrassed, so I won't turn the camera around. So I'll just... Yes, you were. You see? She's embarrassed. So, there we continue. So life is full of little disturbances. It's okay. I don't mind. Let's just put some more white in here. Drag this across.
I am not embarrassed.
Okay. You're not. Right. I'm going to make that slightly more darker there now. So let's just take some phaylo blue and some black or Payne's grey, whatever you have, and just in behind there. Just a little, just here and there. There we are. So that was quite easy, wasn't it? Just to create that little crest. And that's basically all it is. Yeah, you can use your finger to pull it down then. See? Wasn't that a little fun to do? Now, I'm going to take my pointy brush and go into some white, and just along the top, let's just put some nice pure white in, just along the top. Just here and there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off that crest now. It's going to break off towards, let's see if we can play around with this. Let's say it breaks off around here. Okay? And it comes across this way. And then we have all different kind of ups and downs here and there. And let's put a little couple of ripples just here and there as well. So you see, you can make this your own. You don't have to be exact. And let's go back into some white now. I'm going to brighten this up, so I'm going to take a little touch of Naples yellow with the white, and that'll give me a really bright white then. And let's just put it in here and pull this down slightly. You see? It's really that simple. It really, really is. And then let's go across to this one and let's just pull it down gently. And as I'm pulling this down now, I'm almost going horizontal across. Blend it into that water behind. And we can do the same with this. Horizontal. You see? So you can see now how easy that was. Let's do a little bit here. And then it sort of dissipates into the ocean. And a little bit down here. You see? Let's just take our blender brush now and just blend those brush strokes out here. Ah, that's quite nice now, isn't it? So that's just a nice easy way of creating these little crests in the water. And I just wanted to show you that. Now let's get some more of that darker colour and just go in behind this. Just a little here and there, that's all. Just a touch, literally. See? Just a touch. Now that's one way. I'm going to show you a different way now with the fan brush of just creating some nice texture on the water here. So you have my fan brush, okay? Normal fan brush. And let's go into some white. Let's just dip that into some white, okay? Put plenty of it on. Plenty of white on it. And just here and there, up and down. Okay? Up and down. See? And that's a nice way of creating some texture as well on the ocean. So you can see there's lots of different ways of doing this. See? And that's quite nice as well. Let's keep going with that. So you can almost see the top of a crest of a wave here already, just for me doing that. See? And it's amazing really how the direction of your brush tells you which way the water is going. And let's put a little bit here. Now there's lots of white water in around here because we're right in by the rocks here, so it's going to be very rough and choppy. Let's just go along here, blend it into that crest, and blend it into this crest. You see? You see how easy that was? Isn't it lovely? It's all very choppy. Now we're going to be lightening this again later. But that's why I wanted a dark colour underneath, you see, to make this nice and make it really stand out. Okay, now, we'll leave it for now. Let's just concentrate on this rock up here. Because I want to show you about waves crashing, that type of thing. So let's take a brush, any old worn brush that you have, doesn't matter. You can use a big one if you like. You don't have to use a small one like me. So I'm going to do some burnt umber, and let's just paint in this rock here, using burnt umber first. We'll get around to doing highlights in a minute, guys. And there we go. And don't be afraid to use plenty of turps in this as well. That's it. Now I've just added a touch of burnt sienna, just to warm that up a little. There we go. Now it comes across here, like that. And we have another rock coming out here, and dips into the ocean like that. And you see, this is the beauty of oil paints, is that they don't dry so quickly. You can not have to worry about the paint drying and having to mix it in quickly and blend colours together. You can just go at your own pace, and this will still be wet, maybe this time tomorrow, only slightly wet. And I can go back and I can blend more colours into it if I wish. So that's why I like using the oils. There we go. And down underneath that, it's got the curves in here. And then there's another piece of rock coming out here like this. So I'll leave that to last. Not too worried about this. Now, let's get some shadows in around here. Let's do some phaylo blue, some cadmium red. I'm going to put a nice shadow. Now I'm putting some white into this because, believe it or not, the bluey shadows are not really dark. They're kind of a pale blue, purpley kind of a colour. Strange, I know, but we'll see in a minute how it all works. Let's put a little in here. And let's go into some phaylo blue again, and some cadmium red. And that one comes out like this. Now, I'm going to put some black right down in here behind this. And actually, let's take some burnt umber with black. And this is very, very, very dark kind of a rock here. No. That's okay, that'll do for now. I want to show you some highlights, putting in some highlights on these. So I'm just going back to my little flat brush that I used for the water. And let's dip into some Naples yellow. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll put the palette up in front of the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. Let's take some Naples yellow, some burnt sienna, and that's just the base now, okay? Let's just use that colour and put in some highlights just here and there. See? That's one. Then back into the same colour again. Some burnt sienna. So that's just the gist of it. Just put in some highlights here. Just one or two. And I'm going to be putting some really bright colour on these there now in a sec. Just to really set them off. But this is just to show you just quickly how the highlights are done. How they can be done, in fact. Now you can use a palette knife for this as well, if you like, and I might even use it in a minute actually. Just to create some texture on these rocks. Now let's dip into some of that Naples yellow and burnt sienna and then some white. So now it's getting really bright. There we go. We have a highlight on this one here as well. Now, if a brush gets started like that, just give it a quick wipe on the tissue and go back into that colour again. There we go. You see? And we have the same on this rock here, and this is a lot flatter now, this rock. So this is just a work in progress now. This is kind of just the gist of what I'm doing. You can, there's a lot more in this that I'll continue on with later, but I'm just giving you just a general impression of how this can be done. Now I'm just tapping this with my blender brush, or you can even use your fan brush if you like as well. Just to blend it into that rock behind. And there's white already on my fan brush, but that doesn't matter. Just give it a quick wipe. And that helps as well give it some texture. You see? And I'll give these some more highlights now again later. So it's just a system of steps really, isn't it? When you think about it, that's all the painting is. It's just a series of steps. Different steps. And what I'll do is I'll show you, in fact, with the palette knife as well. I'll give you a little bit of... I'll show you how to create the similar effect with the palette knife. So I've just taken some burnt sienna and some Naples yellow and some white again. And I've mixed that just on my palette knife, just very loosely, look. It's like a marbled effect. And let's just go in and pull this down. I'm letting the canvas take the paint off. I'm not pushing it on, I'm just pulling it down off the canvas, and it's lifting off the paint from the palette knife. So that's another way of doing it. You see? It's that simple, it really is. And then you can just take your blender brush or your fan brush, whatever you like, and let's just soften some of that down. So there, that was nice, wasn't it? Now, let's create some water going up onto these here. So I'm just going to take my fan brush, give it a quick clean, just a quick one. And let's go into some of that in white again. And just here, now there's not much foam in the photograph, but I'm just going to put a little bit in here, just to give it a little bit of life. Now just tap it and curve it up. See? That's all you need to do. Blend it into that crest behind it. And there's a little bit down here. So this really is this simple. It really, really is. And then just pull it out gently. You see? See how easy it is? And of course the wall is going to be very, very, very rough and choppy just here. Let's put a little bit here. It's just as simple as tapping. That's all it is. And immediately you can see that rock falling into the ocean, just from me doing that. So that's basically it. Now I'll go along and put some little details in here as well later. In fact, I'm going to do another little crest here just to show you. Just to show you how to do the crest on the water. So let's take some naples yellow and some white. Only a tiny bit of naples yellow in this now. With a flat brush and pull it down. That's all. Just flick it away. And again, I'm sure there are other ways of doing this. And if there are, then that's great. You can use those techniques as well. But I'm just showing you about my techniques and how I create these effects. So let's just take some dark paint now again, and just here and there behind it. Let's go a bit darker than that. Just here and there. Okay, a little bit of shadow. And the shadows will always bring it to life. So it doesn't look too bad for now. I might actually put a little bit of red and cobalt blue into this behind here, just to warm it up slightly. You see? Just bring a bit of warmth into it. You don't want it to be too cold. And in fact we can even put some naples yellow with some cobalt blue into that as well. Because you know the way sometimes you could get a little bit of green popping through on the water here and there. So let's just put some of that in as well. There we go. And that, my friends, is the basic, very basic technique for creating water coming in. And I'm just going to go in here with my flat brush and put a few more, just a few flicks here and there. And I'll keep working on this now again as I go along for the rest of the day. I'll come back to it every now and again and I'll do another bit. And I hope you enjoyed looking at this tutorial as much as I've enjoyed doing it for you. I really have. It was a real pleasure doing this for you today. And I'll just keep going with this. Putting in little shadows and little highlights and picking out little highlights here and there. And I'm going to put some more highlight on these rocks. See? And I just keep going like this. I take a little bit of cadmium yellow here now and some naples yellow. There we go. And let's just blend that down slightly. And I go at this now again with the knife later. fact, I'm just going to get my small brush, take some white, and just in between these, just here and there, there's a little bit of water coming down and running off. Just a little, okay? Right? Just here and there. And that just helps add a bit of life into the painting, if you know what I mean. You see? So that's basically all it's all about. And I hope you've enjoyed it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I wanted to do for you today. I'm putting one or two little boats out here. And I'm thinking, maybe a very dark red. A very dark red sail. Just out in the distance, just out there on the horizon, okay? So what I'm going to do, now it's going to be sailing into the painting. I want to draw your eye in. So let's just do a little sail. Like that. Okay. That's a little sail. And next to that we could do probably Naples yellow with some white. Another one next to that. And we put a little shadow just underneath those. And put just a little suggestion of little bits and pieces. Now, I want to give that a slight little reflection, just a slight. So just take some of that dark red again and just here and there, a little tap. See that? Just a little tap. And the same with the yellow. Just one or two taps just here and there. And that's not too bad. There we go. So, thank you very much for watching. Let me just dismount this camera here. And let's take a look back now and see what we have. That's a nice ocean scene. Nice rough choppy waters. I'll be putting more spray in here in a minute. Put some more highlights and shadows as well. And I'll just work away on it, and I'll do this rock down here as well coming in. So that's kind of just a basic technique about these crests on the water. You can just keep going, adding more highlights in here and there. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for all my latest videos. I'll have new videos every week. Next, I'm going to be painting the Shaky Bridge in Cork, which is going to be a lovely painting, and that will show you about perspective, about something going off in the distance. There'll be a little bit of drawing in it as well, so I hope you can join me for that. It's probably on your screen now in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're trying it at home. So give me a like, give me a comment, a good comment or a bad comment. If you have any hints for me, let me know, because I love learning as well. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.